Good morning. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and we're here on a brisk December morning on the Grasslands campus of Westchester County, where we have so many wonderful facilities that do different types of matters of our public service. And we're here today to launch yet another use of this important property for a very important environmental initiative. I'm joined by Vincent Kopicki, who is the Commissioner of the Department of Environmental Facilities, and we have other folks that he's going to introduce as we break ground on CompostED, the county's new compost and education center, which will be operated by our Department of Environmental Facilities right here at our Valhalla campus. When I took office, I made a commitment to make sure that we implement environmental initiatives, and this is one of those important ones that we think are going to improve not just what happens in the county at large, but in the local areas as well. This facility furthers that commitment. This site will be a fully functioning, small-scale food scrap composting facility. The DEF staff are working with farmers markets throughout the county, hopefully use them as a source for the food scraps that will be processed here and turned into compost. The compost will be used to supplement the soil on county-owned public spaces. This initiative represents a combination of finding a number of good things that can happen at the same time. It's an environmentally sensitive way to take food scraps out of the waste stream and not dispose of them at the Charles Point Center, but rather compost them in an environmentally sensitive way and yet help produce a product that has value in agriculture. And as well, it's going to be a site that different municipalities can come and see. I'll let the Commissioner talk about that in a little bit greater depth. This would not be possible without the professionalism of the Department of Environmental Facilities. We can have all the general ideas we want and the general plans that we think make sense, but it's these men and women that have the professional skill to be able to execute this, and so we're very grateful for them for this. We're also grateful for the initiative that's come out of local governments from Scarsdale particularly, with Ron Schulhoff and Michelle Sterling, and many other communities that have seen food scrap recycling as one of the next steps in our environmental efforts. And in a few minutes, Peter McCartt will speak to our overall environmental strategies and how this fits into it. So next, let me introduce the Commissioner of the Department of Environmental Facilities, Vincent Kopicki, who is sort of the chief architect, if you will, of what we're doing here today. Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, County Executive. And thanks again to the County Executive, Latimer, and to Director of Operations, Joe McDonald, for your support and making this happen. I'm not sure if everyone knows that Westchester County's recycling rate is approximately 50%, which is high compared to the national average, and this is really just another tool to take waste out of the waste stream and recycle it and using it to make useful compost. This is going to be a great education center for not only residents but local municipalities to come to see how a small-scale composting site can be constructed on a relatively small budget and operated by your own forces. So we would love everyone to take a look at that to see how easy it can be. I'd like to thank the DEF team, introduce them. Vetrone, Mario Parisi, Melissa Rotini, and Tom Higgins. And again, thank you very much, County Executive, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Lou, introduce yourself.
Good morning. I'm Lou Vetrone, Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Environmental Facilities. First, I'd like to thank County Executive Latimer for his commitment to environmental programs, and in particular for expanding those county environmental programs so that they're available to all the county's residents. On behalf of DEF's Solid Waste Division, we can't wait for this facility to be up and running. It furthers our mission of offering environmental education programs to the county's students and residents. And as Vinny and the county executive mentioned, this particular facility is also unique because it's going to be used as a demonstration site for municipalities and municipal officials to show them how they can incorporate compost techniques at their own recycling facilities for a reasonable cost. So on behalf of the Solid Waste Division, we can't wait to get started and to have this facility up and running, and we hope to see everybody out here in the spring. Thank you. And let me introduce the Director of Sustainability for Westchester County, Peter McCartt.
Thanks, Lou. Thank you, Lou. This just shows another commitment by the administration and the Department of Environmental Facilities to do what we can for the environment as well as for, the existential threat of, climate change. This is one component of a multi-pronged approach to food scraps. Number one is let's don't have any food scraps. So we have Feeding Westchester, taking this, good food and not scrapping it, but using it for those that need it. Another component is the transportation and disposal. Maybe somebody wants to talk about that, but that's another component that we're helping the municipalities that have their own volunteer program and collecting it for them and aggregating that and disposing of it of those that are in the refuse district. Also, we're selling compost bins. Let's not have this being trucked around. Let's use these food scraps for your own property. So we sell these bins at cost. The last sale we had in August, we sold 71 of them after we've been selling them for many years. DEF has had this program going on for a long time. And then, the last part of it is going to be a large-scale industrial anaerobic digestion facility. We're still looking around for a site for that and studying where we could do that. But this shows a further commitment by the DEF and in this administration to do what we can for the environment. And thank you all. George? Thank you, buddy.
Again, want to thank this team for their ability to take an idea and bring it to fruition. This obviously is the groundbreaking day today. But there'll be a point in time in which the facility is completed. We'll come back for ribbon cutting, and that'll be the day that we actually see how it operates. And on this piece of land, we'll have an opportunity to show how this concept can multiply out in the county. When you look at the county at large, there are a number of municipalities, generally those in the northern part of the county, where they have sufficient open space to either have already or consider having a compost facility that satisfies food scrap recycling within their communities. The best way, of course, is to do it on your own individual site where you have the appropriate land. Pete's made that point a number of times in prior conversation, but not everybody lives in an environment where they can compost in the site where they live. So if they can do that, they do that. And then if the municipality can create a compost site in their community to handle their community's usage, that is the next best thing. We as a county step in as a regional government for those communities that don't have the open space, and there are many communities, a lot of villages, many of the southern Westchester cities that do not have the available land to do a composting site. So we are in separate efforts trying to look at whether or not we can create one in Westchester County that can accommodate as many other communities as is possible. And we've currently stepped into the issue by providing consolidated transportation from the different municipalities for food scrap recycling to sites that are available right now in Ulster County for composting. All of this is part of a multi-year effort that will try to take food scraps out of the waste stream, properly disposed of, and be one more step toward the kind of an environment that we need to have. And we're very grateful that we're in a position to move forward on this. And I think the next thing we need to do is throw some dirt around. So with that, we have a couple of people on that. You're already running away. Nobody shooed you away. We can have a couple of people.
No.
Come on. Two of us on a shovel. I don't have 4 bucks. Two of us on a shovel. Now tell us, you want us to either hold it and then throw it? All right, so we hold it up. Okay? And then we throw it, right? Right, basically back on the pile. Right? All right, back on the pile. Time for our coffee break. Oh, this is great, yeah? You have that as a fond remembrance of it. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, for outstanding work. And I don't want anybody catching me doing too much manual labor. My wife will have
I want to see
expectations.
the union part.
I was going to say.